And now the stage is set for Carissa Moore versus Tatiana Weston. Webb, interesting to see Moore actually get a loss in the first title match. Now she could be feeling the pressure here. She's in a must-win situation.
She is, and Carissa can handle that pressure, and we'll see if she can get it going here straight away.
Looks like we'll get things started. Carissa Moore, a 4-time world champ, on a beautiful lowers wall.
She's picked a perfect wave. It's a bigger wave. A lot of these bigger waves today are moving off of this, what we'd call the reef or the cobblestones. It gets a little bit deep, so the wave flattens out. As waves hit shallower water, they stand up more, and you can see this one moving to the inside, hitting the shallower water, and a good finish there. A little early on the section. I think she just wanted to kind of nail something right away and get herself in a commanding lead in the first couple minutes. So now she's got 33 and a half minutes to work on getting her second score and then applying the pressure and getting a bunch of waves. She was going to be chasing that wave no matter what. Let's watch Carissa's again, 8.9. I didn't really pay attention the first time around, so let's see. Nice carve to start, kind of setting it up. Another one, clean turn. Looks like she might be on a little bit longer board, like a little step up. And there, a nice full rail carve, gouges back into the pocket. And this is where she I felt like she went a little bit soft in the end there. I do feel like that score came in a bit high to start this heat out, but that will set the benchmark for what Tati has to do. And, you build around those scores either way.
So we see those arcing turns. Carissa just wanted a section where she could really let go and then connected there for the finish. 8.93. Strider Wasilewski, you're in the water. Where was Tatiana for that opening wave? Here at lower trestles. Tati rolling into the wall.
Pretty steep to start. Boom, this is where she really shines. Oh, and you see how critical she got there. I don't think it was a big mistake other than losing priority. She probably will lose priority, but that wave actually closed out. She probably only could have got a second turn in.
It's bombing out here. When those sets come, I was watching her duck dive wave after wave after wave.
Good man, Strider. Great insight. Carissa Moore already backing up her 8.93.
Yeah, she's not going to leave it to chance this time and wait for a wave at the end. These are the better waves out there. They're only about this size. They stand up a little steeper. This one doesn't have as much wall down the end, so it's not going to give her that big highlight finish, but it's there's been dozens of really good waves at that size that don't break out on the peak where they're sitting. Felipe caught one out the back, did 2 turns, and then it set up into a wedge on the inside, so you wouldn't pass this wave up out there. It's a really good wave, but unfortunately for her, it didn't stay steep down at the end, so the steep part was the beginning, and then it kind of faded on her after about her 3rd turn here.
Just focusing on her surfboard, noticing maybe riding bigger equipment. Are you liking how it looks today at lowers?
But, he helps push her in big waves for sure, and we'll see what happens here. Let's look at this wave. There's a really nice long wall, and if it holds back, I can look over my shoulder and see that it's going to keep speed and keep the steepness. This is where the wave tends to wedge up. You can see it kind of slowed down and stay steep, and wow, what a turn. Man, that was such a well-ridden wave. And it'll be interesting to see where they come in with that, because to me that was more critical surfing than Carissa did on her 8.9. Not as many turns, maybe not quite as big a wave, but a much more critical surfing in my book. It was more on edge. She almost fell. Well, I think she was more surprised than me.
As we go back to Tati, impressive. Her best so far in this second title match.
Yeah, good start to it. This is where the wave wedged up, and boom, really critical there. She almost fell for good reason. And then, boom, had to climb the lip, and she did good to get up there and actually get the power pushing back, getting the lip pushing under the center of her stance and throwing her back out with speed. There was no bog there. Really well done. Really well surfed. This is the money turn right here. Boom, lets the tail out.
And now getting the chip in. Kelly, we were just talking about those wedges that kind of flatten out the left to just open up the right a bit more.
Yeah, you see she had to draw that first turn out, and there you go. There's the variety right in the steep part of the wave, using that power. The wave kind of flattening out here. I can see that the wave's going to be flat the whole rest of the way, but then she's going to have a closeout. So she's going to line this up and just get her timing right. Boom, push and drift the tail, drift the fins a little bit of extra pizzazz to finish. And we'll see how they compare those two rides. That was cleaner. That's probably a little bit cleaner than what Tati did.
Long lowers right compared to a short, maybe bigger section type right that Tati had.
Yeah, she just had to just pace the wave right. That's why she did that big long cutback, arcing all the way back. Boom, there we go. There's a little drift, little risk, pushing it, but you know, she knows she can push as hard as she wants with that back leg and make that every day of the week. She's just so confident in that maneuver. And then you see her ready to time this one, and she knows, boom, this one gets me back in the world title conversation. I think, you know, that this is early on in this heat. Who knows what can happen, but those two waves right there might have her winning the second heat already if Tati doesn't really step it up here. Nice layback snap there. I think this reminds her a lot.
Carissa's been incredibly consistent this year. The only surfer on tour to finish in semifinals or better throughout 2021. Big moment for Tati.
Yeah, so Tati's really got to let loose. I can turn around and see this wave's going to close right out. So she's going to have to do something big and stick it. I was thinking, you know, 2 moves is not going to do it out here. I think you want to get a wave that's going to let you have at least 3, and if it's only 3, they got to be big, kind of like Medina's 7.3 he had in his heat.
To throw down a huge turn compared to trying to out-turn her on a long right at lowers.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that you want to try and out-turn Carissa. You want to... Tati's difference is on her backhand, she can probably throw a little more vertical attack, and that maybe looks a little more powerful because Carissa's kind of drawing her turns out today.
The Rip Curl WSL Finals, Tati versus Carissa Moore. Weston Webb using priority on this right. Snap to start, and she will be kicking herself for taking that wave with priority.
I feel like I can see a different confidence in her surfing already, and I think she's washed that first heat off. And to Richie's point right there, you can see Tati's turn right there. It was kind of cut short.
9:55 on the clock.
Here we go.
Big carve for Carissa Kelly.
And you got Carissa. You can see the speed. You can see kind of the energy she had there. I didn't obviously see what the wave started like. We'll see if she got a third turn in. If she got a first turn before we saw her, then she could be, again, pushing that score up. To me, she looked more confident in her turn. Right? She just looked like alive. I didn't turn around to have a look because I was watching Tati's, but here we go. First big turn. Boom. You can see how lively she looks right there. Yeah, it was only a 2-turn bang.
It certainly was. I caught up with Tati earlier this year about that moment. It was certainly incredible to see how hard she was charging. 90 seconds on the clock. Carissa Moore.
Oh, she could shut the door right here if she just strings this whole wave together, and a big finish. Boom.
Carissa on the first wave of the exchange.
This just had such a nice feel. Look at all the speed she has. Big carve, just clean open face surfing. Nowhere was she stuck on that at all. A good second turn, and then here comes kind of that banger finish. It looked like she knew I make a little wave approaching. She looks a little deep to start. It goes a little flat on her. She didn't get that first turn off, but here we go. It's going to step right up now and see if she can get in the flow of this wave. She's really got to do something special because she's kind of already a little bit behind the 8 ball to start, and she needs a 9-point ride.
Clean snap again for Weston Webb, and she will time the end section. A much different type of right that she's taken in this heat, allowing her to throw down lots of different turns, but there were some changes to the face of the wave. She had to slow down, react to different sections, did well to stay on her feet.
And then watch this first part right here. She gets a little bit caught. The whitewash just kind of set her up. She almost looked like she was going to go off the back there. And then she goes, you know what? I need to get in the flow of this wave. And bang. Touch late, but she was so strong she pulled it out. And then that was the clean turn. And then right here, one more. Almost digs a nose because she let the tail kind of loose on that. She kind of drifted the tail and then finished really nice. I mean, it's a great ride. That means that clearly the best ride of the heat needed to be right there with Tati. And I don't know if it had what it needs to get that 9.33. That's a giant score out there. I mean, you got to make no mistakes at all.
With a format like this, judges will take their time to make their comparisons. Yeah. They've already written the score down, but they'll just double check with a replay with a title match sheet of this size. You can see the first 2 reactions and now first 3 under the requirements.
Yeah.
And now this will officially be going into a third and deciding world title match between Tatiana Weston Webb and Carissa Moore.